This is the Fredericksburg Neighbors Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Dory Stewart.
Welcome to another episode of the Fredericksburg Neighbors Podcast. Today, we have a couple of fantastic neighbors to introduce you to. We have Will and Maria Negron. They are the owners of Hit the Spot Kitchen. Will and Maria, welcome to the podcast.
Hello.
Hi, thank you for having us.
I'm so excited to dive into this episode. This is going to be a lot of fun. So let's start off by sharing with the listeners. Tell us all about your business.
So we are a little bit of everything, but I think at the foundation, we're a mom and pop's takeout kitchen and food truck mobile service. But we do a lot more than that. We love our little takeout kitchen, which we're in here right now. But we spring off from that and love doing little catering, private chefing. We do some consulting, education, and training all around food and just all the cool, fun things you can do with food. But basically, I think we're alchemists when it comes to food.
Awesome.
Yeah. Magical. It's magical like that music.
I know. Sorry about that. You all offer so many different things. I'm amazed at what all you have to offer. So tell me a little bit of the backstory and how you got into this.
So I always knew I wanted to start a business. Mm-hmm. And then when I was at Blackstone Coffee, that's when I kind of honed in on the food business. Because we saw a growing population of Puerto Ricans in the area due to a couple of the military bases. And then especially after Hurricane Maria hit, there was a big influx. So I was like, what can we do? And I was like, oh, got it. We could do Puerto Rican food because there was no Puerto Rican restaurant around here. Let's offer what we offer on the island, mm-hmm. so people can learn about what we have to offer.
And I think circumstantially, it just kind of ended up that way. I was in school and he was home in the kitchen all the time, kind of cooking because I was going back and forth. And so it just turned into something that turned into it was like a meeting point for us. Mm-hmm. and it felt good after a long day. So food just kind of was always in the equation for us, I think.
I love that. So do you ever hear any, myths or misconceptions about your business, about what you do? Tell me all about it.
Oh my gosh, all the time. I would say, for one thing, there's a lot of thoughts, I think, that people, when they think of food trucks, that it's a dive on wheels. And that's not always true. All food trucks and all food services are not created equal. It really is an art form. And there's a lot of creativity and energy that goes into the food. It's kind of for us, it's a home cooked meal. It's like our kitchen. You're invited into our kitchen and we're sharing it with you. But we get all kinds of crazy questions. The big one is, number one, because we have a white truck, it's not an ice cream truck.
Yeah, ice cream truck.
It's not an ice cream truck.
We get down quite a bit.
A lot of disappointed kids. Sorry, guys.
and then I think one of the big ones too is, especially now with different Spanish backgrounds and Spanish food, a lot mm-hmm. of people don't know Puerto Rican food. And so they automatically think, oh, do you have tacos? I was like, no, we don't have tacos. We have Caribbean food. We have a lot of rice, empanadas, mm-hmm. and fruits. We have a lot of veggies too. And so I think that's probably one of the big misconceptions when it comes to Spanish food.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. For us, it's really Afro-Caribbean, and people think that it's Mexican food and beans, and it really isn't. It's more, there's a lot more flavor and, a different kind of flavor profile that goes into our particular food. And so I think, along that way, we are both foodies. And so when we create food, we're doing it with the mindset of something that we've enjoyed that we want to share with other people, not just necessarily putting a burger on a grill and then presenting it. But when mm-hmm. we do a burger, there's something about that burger that's different because it's got our signature, our experience that we had somewhere else that we're bringing to the table.
I love that. What is your favorite? Oh, that's a difficult question. What's your favorite dish to, I guess maybe people who are just being introduced. What is your favorite thing to serve?
So it's a seasonal thing. So one of the things that we always, it's we have it all the time, but you think we'll get tired of it, but we still eat it, is the rice. The rice box is the most traditional thing we offer.
Yeah.
However, there are seasonal things that we make, and once you get the taste of it, it's like, oh my gosh, this is new taste. I want more of it. So for Maria, it was the El Wow Wow.
Yeah.
It was a Nathan's hot dog that we fried out. We put a little bit of pork and our sauces, and then potato sticks on top.
It was so good.
And so every time we make it, so we were really trying to like cut back on some of our eating certain things. But every time Maria made one, like if somebody ordered it,
I had to eat it.
It's like the smell would just get to her, and it's like, oh my god, it was like the bait that the fish went for every time, you know.
And it also depends on where you find us, because the food truck, there are people who have favorites on the food truck. Mm-hmm. If you ask me what my favorite is here, it's the cheesesteak melt. Like that's my hands down favorite. We hand make our Gardenier veggies, and that just kicks up the cheesesteak flavor. So it also depends on where you find us, because like if we're catering, it might be, like his chicken Alfredo, which people like absolutely love. So it's just very dynamic. But I think and
we do change our menu. We will have like different specials when we go to different places, and sometimes we'll utilize their beer to incorporate a recipe. And so it's kind of hard to say, we won't have the same menu. No, we have a core.
Yeah.
But
we love everything. Like everything that we don't cook food that we don't love to eat.
I love that. I love that. Well, I'm getting hungry.
Sorry.
I should have eaten before the interview. So I can just feel the dynamic between you two. And I imagine you have a lot of fun working together. But I also follow you on social media, and I know that you work very hard. You are everywhere all the time. So what I want to know is, when you're not working hard, what are you doing? What are you doing for fun?
So,
making work fun.
Yeah, we make work fun. No, but so what we do is we travel. We don't travel far, but we go to a lot of small towns. Or we'll go, just go somewhere for a few hours away from Fredericksburg. Mm-hmm. But we incorporate work. We tend, we'll put, we have to go to Restaurant Depot. So we'll look for,
let's go to Restaurant Depot in Chantilly and do something different out west.
Right. Mm-hmm. But we go to different places. We like going to small towns, especially towns that offer something traditional in regards to food. Mm-hmm. That town might, like we go to Midwest Pennsylvania because they're known for the pierogies. Like that's very big there. Yeah. And so we'll go and find some of the crazy pierogies that we could find.
And we love going to farmers market and food co-ops, because that's where you sometimes find like different dynamic stuff that we can cook with. So we incorporate our fun into work because we like cooking. And so it's like finding a new ingredient, like going out to like an Amish market and like, that kind of thing. We really like to be in nature. So if we can be out driving, walking, just kind of, and we do enjoy watching movies and having fun too, but like getting out and kind of being free is where I think we find our fun free time. Yeah.
I love that. I feel like it feels like you are very creative too with your cooking and getting out and going different places and trying different cuisines and incorporating it in what you do. I mean, that just sounds like so much fun.
What better way to learn?
Yeah.
Because when you try something that you really like, it's going to invite you to maybe
expand,
meet the chef. You might meet the chef, and then you're gonna talk to some of the locals because they've been eating it for years, and so yeah.
I love that. Okay, I'm going to switch gears, completely switch gears. So, can you describe a hardship or a life challenge that you feel like you rose above and now can say you're stronger for it?
Yeah, I think it's probably the biggest one that probably will throw people off because doesn't have anything to do with food. But I think the biggest life challenge that we personally have faced was our marriage. And if we had been in a different space in 2010, we would not be here today doing that. And because we had to make some serious changes and face some things about ourselves and really do the work to dig into making our marriage work appropriately and the way it needs to.
And changes is a light word, transformation.
Really, transformation. We literally wouldn't be here. And I say this to people, I'm like, I know we're not the only ones in the world, but a lot of times couples, they don't understand how couples work together. We work together every day. And this is something that we do, and it's just a normal part of how we exist. This would not have been able to be the case had we not had this dynamic life shift back in 2010 and, really dug in to improve ourselves individually and then improve our partnership, because now it truly is a partnership with purpose. and we are moving forward in our business together. And, you know, I have my own kind of thing going on. He floats over into my world and I float over into his world, and we share that space. You know, that wouldn't be possible had we not, you know, overcome the challenges.
I love that. I love that. And I can tell that you are strong together. And so you're still, you know, independent, but have come together. And yeah, I love your dynamic, and for people to work together. I mean, that's not easy for couples to work together.
We've had some fun times working that out. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, you know, it's learning to like, it's again, a partnership with purpose, and it's defining that purpose and then moving towards it because you've set that goal together.
Yeah. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing.
That is a misconception from earlier, you know, that husbands and wives can't work together.
Yeah.
We can.
Yeah.
And we're both Tauruses too, so that makes it even, you know, even more.
Yes, the horns and the bull.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. I imagine a lot of listeners can relate to that. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
So what is something that you wish the listeners knew about your business?
Oh, this is what
So we have more to offer than what our menu shows.
Yeah.
Because what happens is people come to the truck and they see the menu and they think that's it. And then they come to the kitchen and they see another menu. Oh, but that's it. Where we have so much to offer. Not only do we cook, we bake.
Oh yeah.
And we create. And so that's the biggest thing is we do a lot more than what our menu has to offer.
We don't want people to limit themselves when they come to us. We want people to understand that when you come to the food truck, you know, we do want you to step into a flavor exploration. I mean, like we're trying to invite a little bit of something different and incorporate something different so people have an experience. I'll share this real quick. There was a restaurant I went to from the time I was in high school until it closed after COVID. 1994, I started going to this restaurant in Northern Virginia, and I got the same thing on the menu every time. But the thing about it is it created an experience for me that was so nostalgic that I shared it with my friends, like only my best friends like got invited. You guys to the restaurant. All my kids, my cousins, my family. This was a Super Bowl tradition. My grandma used to be like, go get those subs up at the sub place. And it became a big deal. And so what we want people to know is that we want you to expand when you come here. We want you to be open to explore different flavors and profiles and have fun with food. Try something different. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to, you know, to explore. So I think that is like one of the biggest things that we want people to know is that we are about foodies experiencing something different and inviting new experiences.
And definitely have an open mind when you come in here.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you can find you different spots with the food truck. You can visit in person. Where is your physical location? Tell the listeners.
We are at 3318 Bourbon Street, Fredericksburg, Virginia, 22408 in Upper Spotsy. It is behind. You cannot find us off the main road. It is not hard to find, but don't give up. Don't give up if you can't find us. Just come, you know, just call us and we'll tell you, we'll direct you in.
And if you play Pokemon,
that'll
help you out because we are a Pokestop.
We are a Pokestop.
Really? Okay.
That's another important fact.
One of our regulars was a big fan. And he was a big fan of Pokemon.
Yeah.
He submitted the request. We got approved, and he actually passed away a year later.
We really are thankful for him.
And so
Yeah.
So we are.
That's a cool fun fact. You're a Pokestop.
Yeah,
I love it.
Most important one, we're a Pokestop.
I love that. And tell us about if people want to learn about your catering.
Oh, so catering is easy. We're currently working on our website, which is going to be hitthespotkitchen.com and hitthespotkitchen.org. There will be an easy place once that's up and running. It should be by the end of the week where people can just go on there, click on catering, have requested information, and then we'll get back to them and start that process of figuring out what their event is and what it is they're looking for so that we can help match them up to have a really good experience.
Amazing. Well, is there anything else that you would like the listeners to know before we sign off?
Check out our Instagram, check out our TikTok. We've also got a YouTube page, and we'll have all those things on the website. So just follow us and come out and try our food. Come out and try something different. That's it. Yeah.
Awesome. I love it.
Mi comida, su comida. My food is your food.
Exactly.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you both for joining me on the podcast today and sharing Hit the Spot Kitchen with all of us. And listeners out there, go check them out. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Fredericksburg Neighbors Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to fxbgneighborspodcast.com. That's fxbgneighborspodcast.com or call 540-534-4618.